As we all know, the Warriors broke out the swift run the Cavs in the finals this year. At this point, it's pretty much certain LeBron James is leaving for greener pastures come free agency. I mean, it might not happen, but we're pretty sure it's going to happen. The question is, where is he going? I'm Big Stall, and I'm going to go over why free agency is very limited this year for LeBron and his possible free agent destinations. I'll be doing this while taking into consideration cap space especially, but also the personnel and other things that might affect LeBron's decision. Keep in mind though, no one except LeBron knows where he's going in free agency. That being said, let's get into the video.
I can show you how to fit an M in a duffel. Show you how to fit 100 bags in a duffel. Went and bought a demon nigga just to burn rubber. Bitch, you bad as fuck, I might just hit you with no rubber. On that slaughter gang shit, bitch, we nice talking.
The grand majority of the league can't afford LeBron. Under the assumption he's going to demand a max contract, I mean, he said that shit, so we pretty much know he's going to demand a max contract. Only about 10 teams could realistically create cap space for him, including Cleveland, because of bird rights. Before we move on in this video, I'm going to explain what bird rights are just in case you don't know. Bird rights allow teams to exceed the salary cap to re-sign their own free agents at an amount up to the maximum salary, which would be $35 million in LeBron's case. It also means that when a player is traded, his bird rights are traded with him, and his new team can use the bird exception to re-sign him. And yes, bird rights are named after Larry Bird. A player gains bird rights after 3 years of playing for a team. There are a few ways for a player to lose their bird rights, but the main way is to be signed in free agency by another team. That's about all you need to know about bird rights though. Back to the other 20 NBA teams that basically have no shot to sign LeBron unless they gut their roster. For example, for the Spurs to afford LeBron, they would have to not re-sign Tony Parker, trade Danny Green or Patty Mills, and somehow get rid of 38-year-old Pau Gasol's contract of $16 million a year for another 2 years. That would be a solid team with LeBron, Kawhi, LaMarcus, and Rudy Gay plus the others. The problem is, there's not really a high chance the Spurs don't re-sign Tony Parker, trade Danny Green or Patty Mills, and somehow get rid of Pau Gasol's contract. It's doable, but not probable. Tony Parker could get re-signed, but he would need to take close to the veterans minimum, if not the veterans minimum of $1.6 million. I bring up the Spurs because they have to make out a lot of moves to sign LeBron, and there are 14 teams that are expected to take a bigger hit to their salary cap next year than them. So these teams have to make even more moves, and considering many of these teams have bad contracts that they can't get rid of, it's basically impossible for them. These teams include the Pelicans, the Knicks, OKC, the Grizzlies, the Nuggets, the Bucks, the Celtics, the Clippers, the Trailblazers, the Pistons, Hornets, Wizards, Raptors, Warriors, and the Heat. The lowest being the Spurs at $98 million in guaranteed contracts next year, and the highest being the Heat with $144 million in guaranteed contracts. And among the other teams not on this list are teams that aren't in a hurry to win. Teams such as the Mavericks, the Bulls, the Kings, the Hawks, the Suns, the Magic, and the Nets. All could make the cap space available, but they're tanking right now, so there's really no point in signing LeBron, and also LeBron just wouldn't go there. Keep in mind the expected salary cap for next year is around $104 million. So my numbers mentioned in this video, my wildcard teams video, are based on that salary cap. Basically, for these teams to acquire LeBron James, they would have to gut their roster of young players and draft picks for proven stars after convincing LeBron to sign with them somehow. Not impossible, but highly improbable. I already made a video about the 4 wildcard teams that can sign LeBron. You can find a link to that video in the upper right hand corner of this video. Now we're going to move on to teams that have a young core already in place and tons of cap space to sign free agents. Those teams being the 76ers and the Lakers. These are the obvious choice for LeBron to head to. The 76ers have $65 million in guaranteed contracts, and the Lakers have $34 million in guaranteed contracts next season. This gives both teams enough salary to sign LeBron and still go out and find quality role players to put around him. In the Lakers' case, they can go out and sign LeBron and then still be able to sign another max level player. The max player they would almost be guaranteed to pursue would be Paul George or a big time center like Boogie Cousins. The question is, would a core of Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, LeBron, and Paul George be enough to beat the Warriors? On the other hand, would a core of Ben Simmons, JJ Redick, Robert Covington, LeBron, and Embiid be enough to beat the Warriors? I don't know. We'll have to wait until decision day to find out what LeBron does, and we'll have to wait until the playoffs next year to see if LeBron made the right decision. Until next time, hope y'all check out the other video. I'm Big Stall, and I'm out. Peace.